we're going to check into a mid-season Bears update.
Ooh, let's go.
Because the Chicago Bears, for the first time in my lifetime, in my father's lifetime, in my grandfather's lifetime, in the history of the Chicago Bears, we got a fucking guy.
Quarterback specifically, yeah. We've had some guys.
Justin Fields
say it.
is a guy.
He's a guy.
100%.
I think he's got a pair of nuts under there.
No doubt about it. And he took them out and he slapped them all over the Miami Dolphins in their run defense last week, and it was absolutely glorious. Did you watch the game?
I didn't get a chance to see the game. I think the real thing is I saw the highlights of the game, but what matters is the goddamn final score. I hate it here.
No, I disagree.
I hate it here.
What do you mean? So there are two things. One being, yes, Justin Fields literally, well, that was the one where he broke the record, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
he broke Michael Vick's single game
quarterback rushing yards. Yeah. So that's amazing, right? We love to see a W for Justin Fields. I fucking love Justin Fields as well. But at the same time, if we can do that, if we can get our quarterback literally to run the most yards in a game that a quarterback has ever run, and we still lose, I understand that the refs had some very questionable calls, but
some booty.
But regardless, I don't want ambiguous, asterisk on it wins in any way. You know what I mean? If Justin Fields gets the most rushing yards ever and we lose, then I know that he's going to put up more than that in a dub that we get one day. And the real thing is we just need to make sure that we get it together before we lose this guy, man. There's a lot going on with this team that is not looking great, and I would love to win something, even if it has to come to the Arlington Heights Bears or whatever the fuck they're going to be called in a couple years.
Well, let's look at this. Outside of the loss, right? What is going wrong for the Chicago Bears right now?
So the receivers are having a just tough time of it. How many drop passes were there in that Dolphins game? Because from the highlights I saw, which these are probably lowlights, it was at least 4 that hit people in the hands. And some of them, yes, could have been PI calls that weren't called on the defense.
The Equanimous St. Brown one on 4th down went just straight through his hands.
Yeah, that was the worst offender, for sure. But there were a couple other ones that hit people in the hands, dude.
It's true. That's a fact. But if we're comparing that to the past 8 weeks or 9 weeks, 8 weeks, significantly less drops. We got rid of what's his face, the free agent that we signed from the Saints that had basically just gave the Saints the ball at the end of the game to lose that for us. So my view and my opinion here, and this is kind of my view for the rest of the season, right? I think we're going to be very competitive. I think we might even beat the Packers at least once this season.
I would love it. The Packers lost to the damn Lions, so do I even care at this point?
Exactly.
I want to beat Aaron Rodgers with my whole chest, but man, this isn't the Packers that
beat Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But looking really good. I mean, the Dolphins are a Super Bowl contender.
Okay.
They have the 2 fastest wide receivers in the NFL, and I think as far as receiving yards go in the NFL and number of receptions in the NFL right now to this point, I'm pretty sure Jalen Waddle are at least in the top 10, if not the top 5, respectively. It's the best wide receiving core duo in the NFL, point blank period. They've even got a great tight end in Mike Gesicki. They've got a good running back now in Jeff Wilson, and they've got Raheem Mostert. And their head coach is Mike McDaniel's just fantastic offensive guru, right? Tua is great too. Miami is a really, really good team. They're going to make the playoffs. They could make a push for the Super Bowl. So the fact that we lost by, 4 points, and we lost because we didn't get a pass interference call that was a blatant pass interference call when we got absolutely hosed on the drive before that, I'm over the fucking moon. But you know what makes this even better is the fact that we lost this game and the fact that we're going to get a better draft pick at the end of this year because of that. Because right now, our offensive and defensive line, kind of hot garbage. More so the defensive line and our linebacking core. We have one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL, if not the worst at this point.
Oh, so come on, man.
I hate it here.
I hate it here.
Right now, you hate losing because I like it
here. I do
here.
hate losing.
This is the most optimistic I think I've ever been about the Chicago Bears. We have a GM that actually knows what the fuck he's doing. He knows that he would have had to overpay for Roquan Smith, so he's going to flip Roquan Smith for a second round and a fifth round. And there's rumors that within the Bears front office, they had a conversation with Roquan of, look, go chase your ring in Baltimore this season. They're not going to be able to sign you next offseason because they have to sign Lamar. They've got Lamar under a franchise tag, and they've got to sign a bunch of other pieces, and they have a higher cap. We have all the cap in the fucking world, so let's let Roquan go out, be a free agent, and then when the free agent market doesn't dictate what he thinks he's valued, that he wanted us under a re-signing, we can come in and we can match whatever that high-level free agent contract is and maybe bring him back here and get 2 draft picks for it. And then they take one of those second-round draft picks and they flip it for Chase Claypool. And they get a solid wide receiver who, yes, he hasn't proven to be as impactful as people think he should be, but you've got the Cole Kmet and Chase Claypool dynamic and connection there, both coming from Notre Dame. You have a big physical wide receiver that you can pair with Darnell Mooney, who's undersized and a speedy slot wide receiver. And you've got 2 receivers that are, I don't think in most offenses they would be a number 1 wide receiver. I think they would be a number 2, but they complement each other well. So on the offensive side, we need wide receivers, we need offensive linemen, we need defensive linemen. Our secondary is young, but they're good. And the free agent class is supposed to be kind of dog shit. So we need all the draft picks we can have. So because of all of that together, I'm very happy with where the Bears are, and I'm very happy that they lost, because they lost in a very convincing fashion where Justin Fields put his nuts on the table and said, look, I'm here to play, motherfucker. Pay me and build a team around me. Justin Fields has proved in the past 3 weeks that he is the guy. He is the quarterback that's going to be here for the next 10 years, barring he doesn't get horribly injured or anything like that. Knock on wood, we don't wish injury upon anybody, but damn sure not Justin Fields.
Of course not.
The Bears are going to be good. The Bears are very bad right now. Justin Fields is very good, and the Bears in the future are going to be a good team, and the Packers are going to suck dog shit because Aaron Rodgers is falling off a cliff and Jordan Love can't do dick about it. So it's just, I'm so excited.
All right, facts.
We have the number 1 rushing offense in the NFL.
Yeah, quarterback literally just ran for the most yards ever. So, like, that's cool. But
and Khalil Herbert has more rushing yards than David Montgomery and is on a better rookie contract. So if we have to get rid of Monty, we have Khalil Herbert, a better running back for the system. I'm telling you, bro, we are in a very good spot.
I'm here for it. But at the same time, there's a couple of things. One, our record right now is not great. And at the end of the day, what are we, 6-3-6 or 6-3-7, something like that now?
I'm okay with that.
I'm not. I hate losing.
Pick.
I mean, yeah, okay, that too. But one thing I was told was that what we really need is the owners of the Bears to change over, because there is a vested interest in keeping the team just mediocre enough where you don't have to spend a ton of money, but you keep the people coming back, putting their asses in the seats, buying all the, concessions, buying jerseys. We're selling Justin Fields jerseys out the ass. They're making money as owners. They don't have to be good. And I'm just going to remain skeptical for now, because with a losing record like we have right now, I respect Ryan Poles. I think it's the real thing. I respect Poles. So at this point,
I think Eberflus is the real deal too.
Either way, man, it's up to them, because if this shit doesn't start turning around, they're finna lose Fields. They're not going to be able to get any other. They certainly could, even though they've treated him very well. He has a losing record. Bro, professional sports people are competitors. They don't want to come here just to make their money and lose. You know what I mean? They don't. Let's start winning. We need to start winning eventually. If it's not this season,
we're going to start winning next season.
Okay.
This season, we have the lowest payroll in the NFL.
Awesome. Cool. That means more money for the owners. I'm saying, I'm done.
No, what we did, we signed a bunch of bums in the offseason because Ryan Poles needed to figure out who he was going to keep and who he was going to get rid of. And then he got rid of Robert Quinn and that dead money, got rid of Roquan to get the draft picks. I'm telling you, man, we are heading on the right direction. And what could make this even better is if the Bears get sold. And I'll tell you what. I think it's more likely that they get sold sooner rather than later because of how old Virginia McCaskey is.
Exactly.
And we don't want to see anybody die, but if Virginia McCaskey were to die And
if you
her
said it was
children-
McCaskey or Takeoff, I know which one I'm choosing. You know what I mean?
I'm with you on that
Fuck.
one. But so if, and this has happened with other sports teams, right?
Yeah.
Other professional sports teams. If Virginia McCaskey were to die, right? The franchise is passed along to her children and the trust. And those recipients of the team have to pay income tax on the receipt of that inheritance, which is the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
And the majority of their, unless they're very, very smart with their money and they have a bunch of fucking cash stored away, the majority of their wealth and of their money and of their assets is likely going to be tied up in the Chicago Bears. So in instances in the past when things like this have happened, the family has to sell the team in order to pay the inheritance tax that they are getting hit with by the federal government. So if Virginia McCaskey were to die, it may work out into the best of situations for Chicago Bears fans because the McCaskeys have run that team as a middle-of-the-road football franchise since 1985, and even in 1985 they were running it that way. We just got lucky with Ditka and Walter Payton.
Oh my God. Well, hey, I'm not wishing death on anybody, but I am wishing dubs for the Bears. So it seems
That's
like they're not mutually
Dubs
exclusive.
in the
You know what I
near
mean?
future.
Something-
Dubs in 2023. Dubs in 2023. I'm telling you, stay patient.
Dubs, D's and dubs, deaths and W's. That's what I need in 2023. That's all I want. Death and a W.
I do want the Bears to stay at Soldier Field, though.
It's not gonna happen. That's the shitty part. It's not gonna fucking happen. Whatever, man. It is what it is. Time, the slow tick of time changes everything. And it will change the Bears, but hopefully it changes them for the better. Like it did the Blackhawks to a certain extent. Like it did, even though they're back to sucking now, like it did the Cubs to a certain extent. You know what I mean? These teams had big changes in the ownership structure, and it changed the way they played the game. So I can only hope the same for the Bears, and I hope it doesn't cost a life to do it.
We'll see. We'll wait. Stay tuned on that one. But from a potential takeover in the death of an individual to